Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all pop on in. We are live. We are live. I'm gonna let y'all pop in. Just reading some stuff. I'm gonna let everyone pop on in. Really good, really good. Uh, Really good Pro Box card. Let y'all fill in a little bit. Jukembayev is a problem at 140 pounds. No one's really going to be able to deal with that. Jukembayev is a really good looking prospect. Uh, uh, Come say what up. Come say what up as you guys fill in. ProBox constantly gives you really good fighters, like really good fighters, really good looking prospects on really good cards. There you go. That's way better. It's giving you really good cards. Today's card with Val and Najee Lopez and Calvin Davis. Look, honestly, Calvin Davis was the least impressive of the three prospects. Um, yeah, he won. I thought the scores were a little wide. He's already 27. He's 10-0 now. I mean, he's just not it. We've seen him look decent before. He's fought on Pro Box now a couple of times. He fought on Pro Box about a year ago. Then he fought again just recently on Pro Box over the summer against who did he fight? I think he fought a guy named Derek Whitley, if you guys remember. He got a knockout in that fight. He doesn't get a lot of knockouts. He's obviously not a huge hitter. He's got some skills. He's tall, he's long, he's rangy. He's got some good speed. 6'1" southpaw. Um, but he struggled a little bit tonight. And I don't know what fight he's going to be, what weight he's going to be moving forward at, and when he is fighting top-notch guys, I don't know what weight class that's going to be at. But if it's 140, I mean, he's going to be a problem at 140. But if you look at the guy that fought in the main event, Jukembayev, would just walk him down and destroy him. Right? He would just walk through his little jabs, and he would get in and just break him down. So I'm not saying like Kelvin Davis is trash or anything like that. He's a decent fighter. Really is a decent fighter. But that's really all he is a decent fighter. He's not gonna really make a big run at 140 pounds or 147 if that's where he's at. 147 is going to be a real issue for him. He's just not there, and I don't mean to disparage the guy, but we've seen him win rounds and do what he way back early in his career. He got dropped at AT&T Stadium. He took a big step up in his second fight. He made his pro debut. I don't even know if you guys remember those. It was those cards outside of the wild card boxing gym, Ring City, USA, during the pandemic. That was in 2020. Then he came back in 2021 and he fought on the Canelo Billy Joe card, and he won, but he got dropped in the fourth round. And he's gone on and he's fought some guys. That was probably up until recently. In his second fight, he got dropped him. Jen Marsliak, the best fighter he's been in with until now. Until Booth, maybe. Narcisco Carmona would be the best guys he's been in with. So he's not really moving up in talent level. Like he's not taking those big step ups where a guy who's been pro now for 3 years that you would want him to take. Clarence Booth is 36 years old. I think they said 36 years old. And He's an opponent. He's lost to Mike Williams. He's lost to Landolfo Delgado. He goes the distance. Luis Feliciano, Michael Dutch over on this series. Maxim Dadashov destroyed him. That was back in 2017. The late great Maxim Dadashov. And that's really it. He doesn't really have any wins of note. He's been outclassed whenever he's fought that higher level of opposition. Yeah, Ryan, I didn't want to bet on this because the odds were so whacked out. I didn't bet on any of these, bro. I just didn't want to bet on any of these. I didn't like the odds on any of these fights. I was gonna just do a show and just show you how to make money by taking all the favorites. But Muhammad Mimoun, am I saying that right? He wasn't gonna win the fight, right? At plus 450, I don't know. Like maybe you roll the dice on it, but be prepared to lose, right? Like if you're gonna bet on Muhammad Mimoun, the odds are good, but just be prepared that you may lose that money because he's probably not going to win. And I do this on some of my fights just to kind of roll the dice, right? Like and see what we get. The odds look really good. Let's let's see what we got here, And yeah, I think I don't think Mamoon is a bad fighter. I think he's like they kept comparing him a little bit to Winky Wright, and he's never be like Winky Wright, but he's not a bad fighter, and he can give some fighters trouble. That's not a bad bet, right? When you take long odds like that, be prepared to lose. I think what were we talking about? Jukembayev. I think Jukembayev is going to be a problem for a lot of guys at 140. Like it's a guy like I like Omar Juarez. Like how is Omar Juarez going to fight this guy? Right? Like Juarez isn't a puncher. How's he going to keep him off of him? I think Jukembayev is a much bigger puncher than Juarez. He's got a lot of knockouts. He's been stopped one time in a fight that he was doing okay in against Subriel Matias, who is now a world champion. Since then, he hasn't beaten really anyone of note. He had a win over Miguel Vasquez early in his career, which kind of put him on the map. But after that, he's got the win on the PROBOX card, and really since the loss to Matias, he hasn't been tested. And this was supposed to be a test, and I think Mamoun is a decent opponent. He's a good fighter, but I saw him as a 4.5 to 1 underdog. I kind of saw that. You have a guy. Yeah. Anything you want me to do a video on? Let me know. I'll always take requests if you guys want me to do a video. If you guys want me to break down a fight, I'm doing one tonight. Venezuela and Chris Colbert part 2. I'm doing a rematch. I'm going to break down the rematch. I think that's a good fight to make money on. I think that's a really, really good fight to make money on. I'm going to walk you through that. And I want to get into that fight a little bit. We'll talk about Chris Colbert and Jose Venezuela. I'm in the minority. I guess I'm the truth. I actually had Colbert winning the first fight. I thought, Ryan, I don't think that's crazy, right? Like, I think Kevin Gonzalez is really underrated, and I think MJ. I think MJ is really overrated. That being said, I think Gonzalez is going to get knocked out. I did a video on it. I think Gonzalez is going to get knocked out. He's going to be doing well in the fight. It's going to be a fun, competitive, entertaining fight. But I think at some point, Gonzalez gets knocked out. He doesn't move his head, and you're in there with a puncher. Like, Gonzalez is oddly athletic. Like, you don't think he'd be. He uses the ring a lot better than you think. Like, he's just not a come forward guy. There's more to it. Gonzalez is a really, really good offensive fighter, and he's got a real chance in that fight. I think at some point he gets clipped, and MJ can really, really crack. Like, MJ can really. He's got for real crack. I think like he might be winning when he gets knocked out. Like he's going to be tough. However, if Gonzalez makes it through 12, he might be up on points. I just think he gets knocked out. No, but Ryan, I agree. Kevin Gonzalez underrated, and MJ is overrated. So, but even at that, I still and I was looking at this fight, and I wanted to do that. I want to put some money. You know, again, if you're prepared to lose your money. Like if you're okay with losing, this is a fight. Kevin Gonzalez is a fight where you might be like, okay, like I think the juice is worth the squeeze here. There's a chance he can win this fight. It is like, and that's the one thing I don't like about him because it's like he shouldn't be. He's athletic. He's mobile. Move your head. You know, it's very stationary and he's easy to hit, but he's a really, really good offensive fighter. Robert Guerrero and Andre Berto. I was going to do a video on this, and now I'm looking at Andre Berto's box rack, and I'm like, dude hasn't fought since 2018. He hasn't fought since 2018. I'm not doing this. I can't do this. You know, it's too many. It's too much of an unknown. I know Guerrero fought relatively recently, not that long ago, and he looked okay. Because I don't know. I mean. They're the same age, that's true, but Berto hasn't fought at all. Berto's been out of the ring for 5+ years, bro, like 5+ years. And the last time he fought was when he got robbed with Devin Alexander back in 2018. That's a long time ago. It's a long time ago. I like Berto. I know Berto from the amateurs. I get they're the same age, but like I don't have any tape to go back and watch on Berto in the last 5 years, right? He hasn't fought anybody at all. Like he hasn't been anybody. Like if you said to me 5 years ago, Berto or Guerrero, who wins that fight? Berto. But he's been out for 5 years. So I wouldn't like, look, Berto's the better fighter, but he hasn't fought in 5 years, which is why I'm not touching this fight. Like I just wouldn't touch it for that reason. You don't know what you're going to get in Berto. Now, if he makes 147, you know, at least he came in shape, right? You know, thing about Berto is when Berto was coming up, like 2008, back then, like 15 years ago already, I really thought that he was going to be it. Like, I thought he was the future. Like, I thought he was going to be the next great welterweight, and it didn't pan out. But, you know, his athleticism, his power, his speed is blinding. Like, he's got everything. Like, if you're scouting guys, like, he's the one you draft first. And I don't want to say it didn't work out. He became a world champion. He had a decent career. It's just, he didn't meet the expectations that I had set for him. But that's a really good fight. And then we got Bam, obviously, Bam and Sonny Edwards, which a lot of y'all think is a 50-50 fight. And I just don't see it. Like, Bam's going to steamroll him, right? Like, Sonny Edwards might be doing okay for a little while, but, like, how? You know, Sonny Edwards is willing to sit and trade. He's willing to sit on the ropes. Probably stoppage. Like, late stoppage from an accumulation of shots. You know, what I did is you could take Bam by stoppage and then take the over. Watch my video on it, Ryan. It's an interesting way. There's a lot of ways, and this is what I mean when I say that boxing odds makers don't know what they're doing. As long you could take Bam by stoppage, then take the over on 10.5. And then just put a little bet on Bam to win by knockout in the 12th, and you're going to make money. As long as Bam wins, the path to making money on this is so easy. And I don't see any way that Sonny Edwards, like, give me the path to victory for Sonny Edwards. Right? Like, Sonny Edwards is a good back foot boxer. He's good. But, like, he's slower than Bam. Bam's got a better jab than him. Right? Bam didn't use his jab. But against Christian Gonzalez, Bam is obviously a bigger hitter. Bam's a better offensive force, right? Like, he's bigger, he's stronger, Bam struggled against Christian Gonzalez because Christian Gonzalez is 5'7" long. Sonny Edwards is 5'3" at the same height. Like Christian Gonzalez was able to use his jab to kind of interrupt Bam's flow, right? And Bam won every round. It's not like he struggled, but Bam wasn't able to really get in the flow that we're used to because of the jab was just disrupting his timing. And then he broke his jaw with the uppercut. But I mean, Sonny Edwards is just, he can't punch. He's a back foot guy. Bam's going to track him down. Bam's a better athlete. You guys think Bam is a slow, plodding guy? He's not. He's faster than Sonny Edwards by a mile, right? Like, so how, like, Bam is legit the love child of Manny Pacquiao and Vasyl Lomachenko. Like, I don't see how this doesn't end in destruction for Sonny Edwards. Like, can he go the distance is really the best that he can do. So I don't really see how Bam survives. I don't see how Sonny Edwards survives 12 rounds. If he does, it's going to be one-sided. I'm gonna be out there. I'm leaving. I'll go to the weigh-in on Friday and a fight on Saturday. But I don't think this is an ultra. It's a good fight, right? Like it's two top guys in the weight class, two champions unifying. So I like the fight in that sense. Just from a competitive standpoint, I think Bam, Sonny is tailor-made for Bam. Like you could not give me a better opponent, a more suited. But maybe I'm wrong. Eddie Hearn seems to think that Sonny Edwards is going to win that fight, which is crazy to me. We have Gallia fight on the undercard of that, and I'm not sure who he's fighting, but Gallia fight is on the undercard. They like him a lot. I'm wondering if they're going to want to make that next. But speaking to Bam's dad a while back, Bam's not going to stay at 112. Like he's going to win this fight and then go up to 115. So we'll see. You like that? Maybe. There's some good upsets this week. Next week, the Christmas card. Kurbat Pulev fights this week too. Kurbat Pulev. This is actually a pretty busy weekend. Sandor Martin fights on ESPN Plus on an Italian card, the motherland. Francisco Garandelli also fights on that card. There's a lot of boxing going on this week. There's a lot. And then obviously David Morrell, which you guys want me to do a show on David Morrell? I mean, we're all going to pick David Morrell. Yeah, I didn't do a video on Sandor Martin. Sandor Martin got no belt, but could he get a mercy stoppage? Could he just beat him up? Is it a 10 or is Sandor Martin a 10 or a 12 round fight? Ryan, is Sandor Martin 10 or 12 rounds? Can he get a late stoppage? 8? Oh, I ain't gonna get a stoppage in 8 rounds. He ain't gonna get no stoppage in 8 rounds. That's not gonna happen. Why is it only 8 rounds? Sandor Martin's a world class fighter. Why is he fighting 8 rounders? It should be at least 10. Thought maybe it was for some, European international belt or something. Go 12. All right. It should be 10. He ain't gonna get a stoppage. Yeah, it's in Italy, right? It's in the motherland. It's in the motherland. 8 rounds. Okay. Yeah. Sandor Martin on points. What is Sandor Martin on Martin? Sandor Martin on points. What's that? Sandor Martin decision. What's that paying? Because that's the bet. I can look it up. I'll look it up for y'all. Let me look it up. Luke Santamaria and Cameron Creel. Why can't I find this fight? I can't even find it now. I'll look that up later. They might not have it on DraftKings. I might have saw it somewhere else. Josh Kelly fights Saturday against Placido Ramirez. Jake Paul. Yanez Tellez. Luke Santamaria. Yeah, I'm not seeing Sandor Martin on DraftKings. Let me know if you guys see it on DraftKings. Yeah, right. I think that's a good bet. I think the obvious kind of thought pattern here is Sandra Martin by points, right? Like, I mean, that's what, especially in an 8 round, if it was 10 or 12, maybe he gets a late mercy stoppage, but 8, he's not a puncher. Yeah, 8 minus 140. I take that. That's a good bet. I'd make that a 2 times bet. Like, I feel pretty confident with that. I know. I just can't get into Jake Paul fights, and I don't even know who Andre August is. Who is Andre August? I don't even know who that is. There's a card in Arlington, at UT Arlington, in Texas, where I live. And if you go to the fight, they'll stream this for free, so you get to watch it. Andre August is he's a legitimate boxer. He's from Texas. I'm looking at. He's only fought in Texas. He's fought in Houston. He's fought in St. Louis once. He got knocked out by a guy named Eric Abraham, who was 3-3 at that particular time. Who's 7-16 now. This guy knocked him out. So he's actually fighting a real fighter. Brendan Martin. He just beat a guy who was 7-0 in St. Louis. Santario Martin, Christian Salazaro, Jorge Garcia, Jermaine Parks. How legitimate do you guys think Andre August, like Jake Paul? You think he could be a legitimate club fighter, like a guy that fights at club shows and wins? Do you think he can beat a guy like that? That's kind of where you would think Jake Paul is. Like Tyson Fury's nephew or whatever. That guy was trash. That guy's a club fighter. He lost to him. I don't know. Can he beat Andre August? I don't know anything about Andre August other than that he's from Texas. So I'm rooting for Andre August. I'm Team August on this one. But I don't get. I wouldn't bet on this. I don't know. It's probably fixed. I wouldn't bet on this. But if I were to bet on this, I would bet on Andre August. But I'm not betting on this because I don't know anything about Jake Paul as a fighter other than that he's a massive star and lost. And Andre August is from Texas. That's the only thing I know about him. So I'm not betting on this thing. There's too many good fights to bet on this week. Like Chris Colbert and Jose Venezuela. Chris Colbert's going to win that fight. He's going to win it on points, and you're going to make some good money on. And I'm going to do that video in a little bit. Bam Rodriguez, the lock of the week. Bam Rodriguez is going to win that fight. It's just a matter of can Sonny Edwards survive and go the distance. He's not going to win the fight. I just can't see how Sonny Edwards is going to win the fight. And then, this week, the card, the PROBOX, this week's PROBOX card sucked to bet on, right? Like all the odds were crazy. Najee Lopez is really good. He's 70, 60 or 75, 75, right? That's a guy, like, let's get him a big step up. Let's see him fight Anthony Yard. Let's see him fight Richards or something like that. Let's see him get a real opponent. Let's see him fight Pascal. Like, I think he's ready. His best win was his last win, not this one, over Christopher Brooker. It was on the Plant City USA card, but I think he's fought all of his fights or almost all of his fights on this PROBOX series. And he's become a household name if you watch PROBOX, and he's really, really good. Like, I just think he's ready for a massive step up. Like, he fought another undefeated prospect, Yildo Despitre of Cuba. Not exactly setting the world on fire, but not a bad fighter either. And he absolutely annihilated him. He destroyed him. So I think Najee Lopez is ready for a massive step up. We're gonna have this commercial, and we'll be right back. I think we're back. All right, guys. Am I back? I'm back. All right, we're back from that little break right there. And then Kelvin Davis. What did y'all think of Kelvin Davis? We seen him look good before. And I never thought like Kelvin Davis looked like a future world champion or anything like that. But I thought he looked good in the past. But there's a reason why they're not moving him up. Like he's 27. He's not fighting better guys. Like they're not giving him tougher opponents. He's fighting the same level of guy and he's getting stuck on it, right? Like it's just he can't overcome this level of the game. Like this video game level has got him stuck and he's just not gonna get any better. And he's 27. So it's like, I mean, he's not a young baby, he's not a pup. Like this is the prime, the peak of his athleticism, the peak of his strength. Like he's here. This is him. And clearly he's not it. I don't mean to disparage Kelvin Davis because he's not a bad fighter. He's got good skills. Obviously, he's got decent speed and he can win these fights. But if you move him up, if you put Kelvin Davis in with a legit 140 pounder, he's gonna if you put him in with Jukembayev beats him. Mimoun beats him, I think. Yeah, that's an interesting fight. So if Kelvin Davis fought Mimoun next, who would win that? Who would win between Kelvin Davis and Mimoun? Right, like, I kind of think Mimoun beats him. Oh, I'm falling apart here. I am sorry about that, guys. I definitely think Mimoun could beat Kelvin Davis. And I don't mean to disparage Kelvin Davis. I'll give you a fight. Kelvin Davis versus Hector Tanahara. Let's go. But, like, I don't think they can even move him up to that level. Like, how do you move him up to that Hector Tanahara level when he's struggling with these guys? Like, at 140 right now, if he fought Hector Tanahara, I think, schools him. Right? Like, Tanahara's got skills for days. Kelvin Davis just seems like it's just not there. Like, he's getting hit. He's running. He's just – what's his identity as a fighter? What does he want to do to win? Like, he's obviously not a hitter. He's not a puncher or anything like that. I just, Kelvin Davis isn't going to be it. I think someone is going to beat him. But these PROBOX cards are giving us good prospects. Dominic Vol, am I saying that right? Good fighter. Really good, impressive knockout. One-punch body shot from Vol. Unloaded on an opponent that was supposed to give him work, but didn't, obviously. And then Najee Lopez. I think Najee Lopez has potential to be a future world champ. I think they should move him a lot quicker. I think give him a real test his next fight, like a real big test his next fight, and let's see how he passes it, right? Because at this level, it doesn't matter, right? Like he's gonna destroy these guys, and he's not fighting bad fights, fighting undefeated prospects. But he's destroying them. So I don't really see any use in staying at this level. Level up, Najee. Get Najee a better opponent. That's pretty much it. I'm going to be in Arizona this week for Bam Rodriguez and Sonny Edwards. So I'm going to – I wanted to go live after I got killed on that Regis Prograis fight, but I wasn't ducking smoke. I was not ducking smoke with my Regis Prograis pick. Honestly, the internet at the arena was so bad, I couldn't go live. I couldn't connect. It was that bad. So I couldn't go live. I wanted to go live for the press conference too. In the press conference interview room, it was a little bit better. But the internet was so bad at the Chase Centers. I thought San Francisco was supposed to be the technology capital of the universe. You can't get an internet stream in San Francisco. It was terrible. But I'm going to try to go live after the Bam fight, and after I show you guys I made your money back. Because last week was a rough week. Last week was a brutal week. The only thing we hit on was Bellum Smith. Stuff. Jahai Tucker got I called the upset on that, and then they stick you with a draw, so we lose on that too. But I'm earning for you guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'll be back after the Bam Rodriguez fight. To go live, and then I'll be back for the year, and we'll do more lives, and we'll break it all down. I'll show you all how to make money. In the new year. We got a couple cards left. I'll probably go live for them. But let me know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow 3D Boxing on all forms of social media. The boxing bookie comes at you for every major fight. Show you how to bring down the house and how to make money on this sport of boxing. I don't gamble, so I use DraftKings. We can't even use DraftKings in Texas. That's not allowed. But if you do, follow me. I'm going to show you how to make a second stream of income by betting on boxing. You won't have to do drop shipping no more. You won't have to do door-to-door sales anymore. I'm going to show you how to make that second income and pay those bills during Bidenflation. All right. From Texas it is December 13th, 2023. From Texas to the world, thank you and God bless.